Right, so here I get into a Europe game with the brand new mode, so you can't actually full send people. And I immediately choose Africa because I notice it's quite empty. Then I start hesitating and wonder if Russia would have been a better spawn. But I don't see anyone in Africa. And here a guy spawns, and here two people spawn next to me. So anyways, I start doing my opening, and then I realize 3 other random spawns happen next to me, so I'm kinda stuck here. This wasn't the most optimal spawn, and Russia would definitely have been a better choice. But anyways, this is still playable, so I decide to play it. And I make sure to time my attacks so they end at the end of the cycle. Here I do an attack reinforcement, so I reinforce an attack multiple times simply to get more land. And you notice I have the best opening by a whole 1000 land. And the player 568, that guy, he was pretty good too. Right, so I noticed that immediately. I know how he's gonna pop up later on in this game. He's gonna do pretty well. Alright. So here I also attacked this player simply because, well, he was a noob. And land in the early game is a lot cheaper than land in the mid game, which is why I'm often quite aggressive in the early game. Alright, so now I start sending alliances to the entire map, as you would. The standard battle royale strategy here. And I noticed that European players are quite weak, so I send a ship over with the Lily player, and Dixaker, that player leaves, right? So now I just keep attacking the European player, simply because the bot is going to waste all that guy's troops. And you can see me, I just jump in here and get all that land, while simultaneously also taking over the south of Italy. Mr. White, this guy also left the game, so you can tell whenever a player leaves the game because their name gets grayed out. They have a gray name instead of white or black name. So here I'm currently number 2 player, or top 3 at least, and I'll be for the rest of this game pretty much. I try to just get some alliances with people all over the map, mostly for the end game, and I also take over player 600 simply because he had no troops and he had an alliance, but well, he had no troops, so there's no point in me keeping him alive. Here I noticed that the small Kinder's guy is quite big, but he has no troops. But at the same time, I get backstabbed by player 12. So anyways, I start asking people to attack this guy, because I don't want him to win the game. And player 12, he already backstabbed me once. Here I'm just looking over at Russia while still playing. I should probably have started attacking player 12 a bit earlier, since here I just kinda wasted some time. I was waiting for my neighbors to attack him first, but that of course wasn't gonna happen. And luckily he leaves the game, so that's just a bunch of free land. I first wait for the bot to waste a couple of his troops, of course. Yeah, at this point, this is mostly a political game. I do fall quite a bit behind everyone else in terms of troops. For some reason, Algerian boy tried to backstab me, which made no sense. So I just end up killing him, because he could possibly do that in the future. Here the Middle Eastern player is doing very well, and also I'm once again in the red interest. So I have to start attacking, and I chose Gingerbread Kingdom because he was quite low on troops. He was fighting a lot in France earlier in the game. And here I tried to get my ally to also attack Gingerbread. Since if you can split a player, well, it costs you a lot less troops to kill him. The okay guy left, and the bot of course attacks me. And here for some reason, I think the Drew player must have gotten kind of annoyed by the fact I was blocking him during the entire game. And he decided to do the equivalent of a full set in this game mode and just spam attack me. So the Middle Eastern player could get all his land. Alright, here I try making an alliance with Banana, then I notice that Full Send is getting attacked by the number 1 player, who is currently nearly 40,000 land in front of me. So he's up by quite a bit. Our kingdom here is quite weak, and also all the players in the British Isles, but I don't manage to get there in time. Maybe I could have, but I'm not sure. Either way, it doesn't really matter because the Middle Eastern players start attacking their number 1 player, or the previous one, the one from Russia. This is the guy who had the second best opening in the game, so he's pretty decent. And here I was thinking I was gonna start attacking him because he sent me an emoji, but no, he was just gonna sit there. And I become number 2 by killing him. Then I take over even more land in the British Isles. But I avoid going any further because I didn't want the crown, or at least not yet. But then I saw Banana taking over my land and I just accidentally took the crown, so that was a small mistake, but it doesn't really matter. Because the Middle Eastern player is very aggressive. Here Tenochtitlan keeps breaking the alliance against me, so that makes me, kind of uneasy. I'm trying to get an alliance with Banana to kill my previous ally, but he just doesn't want to budge. Banana really doesn't want diplomacy. So I decide, okay, if Banana doesn't want an alliance with me, maybe I should just attack him. This is probably the biggest mistake that I made in this game. I tried to keep convincing him to push Tenochtitlan. Then I noticed that Union is very low on troops, so I attack him. And while that happens, Banana pushed me out of Spain. Here what I was attacking was his Ireland claim. Here I noticed Piparas and the FR player fighting each other. And I tried to get an alliance with both of them to go after the Middle Eastern player, which ends up happening because the Middle Eastern player was pushing them. And I also asked the guy from the I Like Small Kinders, so I asked him to start attacking. I have an alliance with him from the very start of the game, actually, when I was just sending out random requests across the map. He leaves the game, but the bot will keep attacking, so it's fine. And the Middle Eastern player now, he's going to get ganged up on by the entire lobby. He's losing all his troops. Here, try sending a heart to Tenochtitlan. Okay. I send him a heart just so, hoping that he wouldn't backstab me again. The small Kinders guy doesn't have any troops, so the FR player is able to get quite some land. but now I get the 160,000 land, and I'm able to take over the Middle Eastern player very fast. Here you notice that the Pipars sent me a request for, number 2. He told me he wants to be number 2 and that I should attack FR player for that. And I realized that that's just a guaranteed win. And I do believe Pipars simply because I saw him fighting the FR player earlier. So I think that he wasn't bullshitting me. So I take his offer, right? And I start attacking the FR player. At this point, I control nearly 50% of the map, so there's not much that the other players can do. Yeah, it's pretty much over at this point. Even if they all ganged up on me, I would still win. Which is why they just decide that, they're gonna give up and just let me win. Now, this game, I'll be honest, when I spawned in Africa and then I took a look at some of the other players heavily ahead of me, I was thinking that, well, unless I get somewhat lucky in the end game, I don't think I'm gonna win this. I did play the game pretty damn well. I don't think I made any mistakes besides the, trying to pick a fight against the banana guy. But yeah, I did kind of get carried by my allies, so there's that. I just peace out. And that was the game.